Greetings, Internet people. How are you all doing today? And welcome to yet another edition of the Rant Request. I told you guys I'd be doing these relatively regularly for a while because I have dozens and dozens of rant requests that I have gone unanswered in one way or another. And so I just kind of randomly pick through them when I feel like doing a video and see which one tickles my fancy at that particular moment. And today we are responding to a request from a YouTube user by the name of MeLikeIt23, and as usual, linked over my crotch, like I do. And the question they sent me was, hey, do you feel that YouTube is starting to become a website just for partners? And there was more to that question, but that's really the point that I'm going to address, because the very first thing that I have to say, really, when it comes to all of this, is I can't really judge how YouTube used to be, because anyone who's looked at my channel recently and happens to look at the date my channel was established, they realize it's only about 4.5 months ago. And hitherto establishing this channel, I didn't really use YouTube all that much, other than for viewing random videos of, like, I was sitting here bored and felt like watching George Carlin comedy, so I would search George Carlin and watch whatever clips that people had uploaded from there and whatnot. I've always basically used YouTube as a random video search to entertain myself when I'm bored. I've never really paid that much attention to the part of the community that does basically what I do, until about a week or two before I decided to start doing what I do. Then I started finding in my searches the videos by people like the Archfiend and the Amazing Atheist and quite a few other people that made me kind of just scratch my head and go, wow, these guys actually sound a lot like me in some ways, which was actually verified when I first created this channel. There were a whole shit ton of people that basically said, hey, you remind me of the Archfiend, or you remind me of Muse from Muse Productions. And so basically, anyway, the whole point of that is that I haven't really been here all that long, and so I can't really say how YouTube used to be for people like me, or who were doing what I'm doing now long before I ever even thought of plugging in a webcam. And so, I mean, on the whole, like, do you feel it's becoming just for partners and whatnot? Obviously that there is some leaning towards the partners, but then again, I mean, it seems kind of like one of the benefits of being a partner is, yes, that you would be promoted and whatnot and things like that for the most part, and that possibly one of the points behind YouTube was that if you made entertaining little videos that people found entertaining to watch, that they would help you spread that entertaining video-ness in hopes that someone who would be in a position to help you progress your craft would notice you. I don't know. Like I said, I've only been here for 4.5 months, but that just kind of seems like, on the principle of things, like what, you know, some of the point would be. It definitely seems difficult to get noticed without the help of a partner, if you're not a partner, because, like I've stated many, many times, when I first started this count, I had maybe 30, 40 subscribers, if that much. And then the Archfiend noticed one of the videos I did and posted as a response to one of his videos, and posted my video on his channel and mentioned that I did an interesting video in one of his videos, and all of a sudden, oh, like literally overnight, 200 fucking subscribers, over 1,000 views on that particular video in literally less than 24 hours. And then all of a sudden, when I posted another video on a different topic, it got double, triple, quadruple the views that I was getting before the Archfiend gave me a mention. So that right there kind of gives validation to the thought that this is a site for partners, because it was with a partner's help that I managed to get myself started. And now I'm sitting here on top of over 700 subscribers in less than 4.5 months, which seems fairly significant to me. Other people who have been paying attention to this site more often than I have could basically tell me if, no, you're under the bar, you're over the bar, whatever. But it seems significant to me, and I'm fucking nobody. I'm just a guy that plugs in a webcam and bitches and pisses and moans about whatever's aggravating him, or whatever the people that watch him ask to be bitched about. So, and yet I'm managing to gain subscribers and views and things like that, mostly through, I guess, a microcosm of the viral process, because, you know, the whole theory of viral video is that one person passes it on to 10 people, and those 10 people pass it on to 10 fucking people, and all of a sudden you've got millions and millions of views later on down the chain. Well, there are a few of my videos, one in particular, it was a response to a video by Josh Christensen, 99, that he did called Metal is Satanic, that now is like sitting on like 4,000 some odd views, and with only 700 and some odd subscribers, that seems fairly significant. It seems like it's being spread out, you know, in the viral way, just, you know, like I said, in a microcosm in a much smaller way. So, me not being a partner, it seems like you can get ahead if you hit on a subject that is poignant to the masses, I guess you could say, or that a lot of people who use the internet regularly agree with. Then you can find yourself getting some sort of attention. And then this is actually really, in my opinion, kind of ironic, because the other thing, but once again, it centers around a YouTube partner. Recently, YouTube asked me if I wanted to activate partner benefits on one of my videos, which, you know, I've not been offered a full partnership, don't get excited, but there was one video that they apparently deemed worthy, in whatever criteria they use, was deemed worthy of partner benefits, which means once the process is complete, if they approve it, I can activate AdSense on that particular video. And what that video is one of the 2 videos I did as a response to the Archfiend's situation. Can anybody sense the tasty fucking irony there? That the Archfiend's situation was that he was being false flagged and his channel was being taken down because of that. Now, if you need to go and watch the Archfiend's most recent videos, especially the one that says the explanation fiend, and it'll explain what his methodology of thought was in the whole process, but it's just my personal opinion that it's extremely ironic that a video that I did about a YouTube partner being false flagged has now been proposed for partner benefits and AdSense. Does that seem just strangely coincidental to anybody else? So, and why I've just babbled about that for 5 fucking minutes is that it once again pertains to me like its question, is that is it a site just for partners? Well, they're offering me partner benefits on a video, and I am not a partner, but it was on a video that I did about a partner. So, how the fuck do you judge this? I honestly do not know. And so the overall answer to your question, me like at 23, is that I honestly have no opinion, or a very uneducated opinion, whereas that it seems that yes, it's obviously a website for the partners in the respect that they're going to get most of the benefits of the website, but there is also the underlying thought that anyone who excels at their craft when it comes to video makings, be it a ranter or someone who makes nonsense fucking videos or whatever these other guys do, because honestly, every single person on the Archfiend's douchebag list, I have never once watched any of their videos. I could not even begin to tell you what type of content they produce. So I can't really give you an opinion on what they do and if they should be promoted, or even if I like their videos. I don't know. I've never watched one. I haven't bothered to. So it's basically kind of a middle of the road, end all be all of it from me, is that it seems like the partner benefits obviously help those who have them, and that if you're not a partner, you're obviously not going to get as much benefit from this website as they are. But you can become a partner if you're good enough at what you do, that enough people want to acknowledge it, and of course you avoid copyright problems. So that's pretty much all I have to say on this subject, and even though the Archfiend is back, I'm going to continue my homage to him. So, I'm RantingRamsay, that is all.
Hey, did you get all that, man?